Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Water Cooler. I am Sarah from Texas, and this is our place to chat all the latest celebrity news. Just got some brand new news as I was sitting down to do this podcast with y'all today. Reality TV. I finally watched 90 Day Fiance last night. It did not disappoint. And today's Jeff Lewis Live. Shout out all my early birds, Krista and Yvonne Gal and Michelle. How are you? Get comfortable in comments. If you are new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh my gosh, Michelle was the #1 thumbs up. Thank you. All of y'all get ready and hit that thumbs up. Make sure you're following me everywhere at Sarah from Texas podcast. Okay, I have not listened. If you're on the Sarah from Texas Facebook group, I admitted rookie freaking mistake. I was listening to the app. I always have to pause it at some point. I'm always on my phone listening on the app. So I'm always good about pausing it and starting it, pausing it, starting. I go from like listening to my phone, listening in my AirPods, whatever. I had a tiny, I don't even know how to explain it. The edge of my phone, I had a tiny, it wasn't a crumb. It was almost like a piece of paper. Probably whenever I take notes, for the show, I always take these little pieces of paper and I'll like grab one off and like fold it into what, just fiddling. Anyways, tiny little something. I went to grab it really closely. All of a sudden, freaking, what's that show was on? I'm now listening to the show because you have to wait. The next show that's on, whatever it is, the guy that has a girl and a guy that's on the whatever. And I'm like, gosh dang it. Because when you do that, you were then in this la la land. You can't, it's not late enough. They go like an hour, hour and a half. I'm not even exact surely what the time is where you can't listen to the show. But the good news is they take out the commercials and you've got the 15-second thing. So I knew where I was. I knew what I'd listened to. I just, the caller had just called in saying that her son used to faint a lot. And she mentioned some name of what the reason was, but I couldn't understand what it was. And anyway, so I had to wait, go back, but it like wasn't enough time. I never know when it's going to come back up. So I didn't have enough time to go make more Oreo truffles. I'm in the middle of making Oreo truffles, dipped pretzels, putting the sprinkles on. I've got sausage and cheese breakfast muffins to make also for Thanksgiving morning. So anyways, I know, like Pollyanna. Anyways, oh gosh, Kimberly. Well, I love that you're still following me, but not Jeff Lewis. I mean, we all have our moments, right? Of listening to different shows. We can all change our mind and such. Still a chumpette, right? Still a chumpette. I don't know. We'll have to think of another name. Anyways, happy Thanksgiving, everyone. I know my daughter's excited to watch Dancing with the Stars finale tonight. Also, Lisa needs a spreadsheet for all the shows that she loves. Hey, Dee and Apo Creva, Michael Riley, Kimberly J. Oh, that's so sweet. I hear that a lot, that some people didn't even know that Jeff had another show. They knew him from, is my glasses like off? They're not straight. That's going to drive me bonkers. Anyways, I've been too lazy this week to wear my contact. Anyways, people that don't listen to Jeff Lewis and then started listening to him because they wanted to know what the heck I was talking about every day. So anyways, thank you so much. No, Jet says, has Mercedes been put on ice? Is she there this week? I don't have I already deleted the picture because I posted on Sunday of who's on this week. So I don't remember. I need a pedicure so bad. Y'all, this is so gross. I don't have shoes on. I've been walking around the inside of the house barefoot. Thank you, Appa Cravat, for reminding everybody to hit the like button and the thumbs up. I appreciate it so much. Like a callus on my big toe is like scrapey. You know what I mean? Where you like need to cut that piece off or go get a pedicure. We are getting pedicures tomorrow. But anyways, oh my goodness. Does your daughter have a face? Oh, I haven't asked her. I need to ask her. It's one of the college girls, so I don't talk to her about Dancing with the Stars. So I don't know who her favorite is, but I will definitely ask her. Rock, I love all y'all's questions. No free feet pics. Yeah, y'all are not seeing these pics. This is great. You know what I mean? Like I was rubbing my feet together and I was like, oh my God, it's a piece of skin that needs to be like cut off, shaved off. Raquel says, Jeff keeps talking about going back to Bravo, but it looks like he probably regrets it. Who knows? Yeah, we'll talk about that for sure. And what he was talking about. Also, the news that, Tracy Tutor just kind of slid in there about her new show, right? Okay, let's get started with some news that has been in the talks for a very long time. We just got it absolutely told to us, though. Vanderpump Rules. I'm a day one watcher. I mean, Jax, Stassi, Katie, Tom, and Tom. I mean, all the OGs for sure. Don't forget, Lala was not an OG. She came in a few seasons later. Anyways, it's going to be rebooted. I think they took too long. Figuring out the money, the scheduling, all of those things. Lisa Vanderpump will stay on because she's still the owner, operating whatever. She's still the queen, in my opinion, of Sir Restaurant. Peter is still working at Sir. So how funny that all these new employees they might not be new to Vanderpump Rules. So maybe it's new people that were hired. Maybe it's people that have been working there for a while. I don't want it to be new people that were just hired. I don't want to know that it's like aspiring actors and models that are trying to come on TV to work at Sir. Because don't get me wrong, there is no way in hell that Lala Kent didn't go apply at Sir just so she could be on Vanderpump Rules. We all know that she moved to LA to be, which is fine. I'm just saying, I want it to be literal wannabe actors, models that are literally been working at Sir for years. I want to see them in the background from like 3 years ago. I want to know they've been there forever. I want to know that they've already screwed the bartender, but now they're with the cook, and now they're with, I want to know that the girls have already had drama, that somebody's going to get engaged and one person won't be asked to be a bridesmaid. I want to know all of it for sure. Anyways, we've already seen where Tom just put out the news yesterday that we chatted about, that Schwartz and Sandy's is not going to be open after the end of the month. Everyone is commenting underneath Tom Schwartz's stuff. The only person, and y'all know I'm blocked by Tom Sandoval, so I don't know, but the only person that they're saying that Tom Sandoval has had a comment from was his girlfriend. And it was this big, long, you tried to do everything, the sign, nobody knew we were there. We tried to tell everyone, you tried to do all this stuff, they wouldn't let you, all this wah, wah, wah. Okay. Jeff Lewis was on another podcast and he is promoting it, but he's not saying anything about it on his own show. Now, I get it. The reason people go on other podcasts is to promote their radio show. So something very interesting on the show, it's the Viall Files is what it's called. I'm sure y'all all know Nick Viall. It's Jeff comes on about 45 minutes into the almost 2-hour podcast. It's a long podcast. I don't know if that's normal. A lot of Bravo talk, a lot of what he thought of Shannon Bedore, all those things. One thing he says, though, is about the new Bravo show with Flipping Out, is that he's only going back. He's making less money than he did make in 2018 when he left. He's pretty much going on because it's a big fat advertisement for his radio show. So I've told you all along, radio is his baby. He loves radio. He loves that part of his life. I think if he could do it 100% that he would, but it's only 2 hours of his day. I thought that was very interesting that he said that, though, because I personally have always felt like radio is his main number one thing. But for him to now say, look, I think I've changed. I think I'm going to be kind of boring. Like I'm not the same person that I was on Flipping Out. But also he says they talked a lot about, Patty Stanger. And they both agreed, because Nick has worked with him also, worked with Patty Stanger also, that she has not progressed. And things you can say and do on TV 10, 12 years ago, you cannot do that anymore. Nobody wants the loudmouth that's rude to somebody. Now it's like, if you're seen being rude to a waiter, which can literally mean you didn't look up and give them eye contact, people will be like, oh my God, they're so snotty. They didn't do this. Now it's almost like if you don't tip 30%, it's like, they don't even take care of their wait staff. It's like, oh my God. So Jeff definitely said that he is friends with Patty Stanger, really respects her and all this stuff, but that she just needs to progress and move forward and kind of come up with the times to be on TV. On his own radio show, and he also said on Viall Files that he's doing these other podcasts to get an audience for his radio show. But he's like, I say everything on my radio show. That's why really nothing he said, not much that he said on the Viall Files was all new, because he says it on his own radio show. He's like, if I'm going to say something good or controversial or worth, being picked up in the press, I want to say it on my own radio show. And even Nick Viall said the same thing. He's like, I'm going to do Lala Kent's podcast soon because she asked, and it's a really good podcast, but I know I'd rather do and say things on my own. Is that his wife? I didn't like his voice either. And his voice, so Stephanie is saying, don't like Nick's voice nor his giggly wife's. I didn't realize they're married. Like, I don't really know much about Nick Viall. I know there's a lot of controversy about people that love him, people that hate him, which is always true, right? With anyone. I didn't expect Nick's voice to sound like it sounded. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if y'all ever heard it. So this is the episode. I've got it up because I'm still listening to it. I've got 45 minutes left. So I kind of ran out of time with all the cooking and visiting with family that I'm doing this morning. But basically it's Jeff Lewis. They're big fans. They're like, we've tried to get you on forever. You're a big deal. And Jeff's, the same, like, oh, I am. But, they're talking Beverly Hills, they're talking Shannon, they're talking the housewives that he likes, all the things. So Nick is fine for me, but I do like his interviews, Kimberly J says. He has a lisp. Nick does. I don't think I noticed the lisp. Nick needs a bath. Oh, like, do you think he doesn't bathe? Like, gross. Marcia says, hello. Okay. Sad news. Wendy Williams. Like, what is going on? I see this on TMZ. Her caretaker, whatever they're calling her, guardian, says that she's permanently incapacitated now due to her dementia diagnosis. Y'all, just August 19th is when we last spotted her out in public. That the cameras caught her. She could have been out since then with her son at this holistic store. I don't remember if she was interviewed, but I felt like she was. I didn't have time to look into it, but it was just August 19th. That is barely 3 months ago. Like, how is she? Fortunately, I don't have personal experience with dementia. Cancer, sadly, is what gets all of my immediate family. But I know of dementia through other people and friends of mine. I don't know that you can go from like walking in a store and then 3 months later being permanently incapacitated by dementia. I didn't know that made you like not move. Do you feel like it could be something else? Like, incapacitated, doesn't that mean like not moving? It makes me think of like just laying there almost in a coma, but awake. You know what I mean? Yes, Apocreva says it's so sad about Wendy. I think of her when I say a friend in my head. Yeah. I love when she would say that. I loved her show. Loved it. Krista says Wendy destroyed people for years with her words. It's tragic what has happened to her, but her dementia is alcohol driven, which is interesting. Again, I don't have much experience with alcoholism either, or any experience, but I didn't realize that alcoholism could cause dementia, especially at it's just awful. It's awful. She's very young. She went through hell and back with her husband and all of that stuff. Oh, she doesn't have, okay. Thank you. Krista says she doesn't have the tip, and they've said this in the documentaries. Wendy Williams doesn't have the typical dementia. She has alcohol-driven cognitive issues, which is awful because obviously I know about, and I had a friend's mom who was a functioning alcoholic, like she went to work every day. Clearly, um, Wendy, until quite a while, was going to work every day, even when she was living in that house or whatever it was, where they were taking her back and forth to work, she was still able to work every day. So it seemed to have gone downhill so quick, and they just took her off the radio. So it's sad that you can be an alcoholic and functioning like that, and then it can cause this cognitive stuff. So, oh, Krista says, I worked for years in a dementia wing of a hospital. Oh, yes, a halfway house, Renee. Thank you so much. Oh, Andrea says it's called wet brain. What does that mean, though? Can she maybe hear and take in and understand things, but she loses the ability to talk or to put sentences together? Is she lost physical, whatever? Like, can she go pee? Can she stand up and take a shower? Can she pick and choose what she wants to eat? Like, tell me exactly what happens. I'm really not sure. Yes. Okay, Stephanie says it attacks your brain, which causes it to not be able to tell you to move physically. Wow. But you can still think. Yeah, Krista, that's a challenging job for sure. Yeah, Michelle says, I thought she had what Bruce Willis has. I think it's the same, similar, but a different reason for it. Like, sometimes there's the onset of dementia that we don't exactly, I think I'm right, doesn't know any reason or why it happened, right? Oh, it depends on which part of the brain it's affected, Andrea says. Anyways, just awful. I almost I'm very happy that my last image of Wendy Williams is the August 19th of her with her son inside this store that's kind of, excuse me, I ate some cereal. Do y'all like Cashy cereal, the chocolate cereal? So good. That's what I just had for lunch. I'm glad that that's my last image of her. You know what I mean? I was leaving a message a couple of hours ago for a chumpette. Keep her in your prayers. She's losing her dad right now, and like literally the last hours, moments of his life. And we were voice texting when she had a second. And I was telling her, I don't know why I thought of this because, you know, obviously I've lost my dad and mom. Anyways, to just remember all the good times. Like, I know for me, my dad passed away in a hospital from cancer. So when he did, he was on life support, and I did not understand that breathing machine was life support. Like, I had a 2-year-old, I had a 5-week-old baby. My dad had had cancer for 15 months. I was just a mess of hormones and emotions and everything. He was cleared of cancer in January. It came back really fast, passed away April 23rd. So it was just a blur of emotions, obviously, in my precious dad. But I still have the sounds of the life support machine going up and down and taking the pneumonia, the liquid out of his lungs for him. So I wish I didn't have that sound, but I'm glad I saw my dad, and he was able, you know, he had a breathing tube, and obviously, so he was able to write on stuff, and I had the letters that he left. At one point he asked for H2O, and that's what he wrote out anyways, because we would have to put, you know, soaky sponges on his lips to keep him. Yeah. Anyway, so I say that to say, you know, I'm glad that my last memories, and I hope it's the only ones that I see of Wendy Williams, as much as I was a fan of hers, that I like that the last image I saw of her was her just happy and in a store and with her son. And I hate now this visual that I have of this, you know, incapacitation of her. Kim and Kroy. I mean, Kim and Kroy. Only Kim and Kroy would have moving trucks outside their home 2 days before Thanksgiving. I don't think either one of them are on good terms with their parents for years. So it's very, very sad. They've got 4, they are getting older, but they've got 4 pretty young kids. The two are older girls in like their mid to latest 20s. But to move 2 days before Thanksgiving, we don't know where they're moving, an apartment, a condo, a smaller house, no idea. It's expensive to move. It's stressful. It's emotional because of the reasons. I don't know if they're moving into two different places, if they're going to have the four kids a week on, a week off, if they're going to live near each other. I have no idea what's going on. Yeah, thank you, Krista. She says, loved all the chumpettes missing their parents during the holidays. I know. Oh gosh. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's hard. Which again makes me sad that Kim and Kroy, neither one of them are on good terms with their parents, and they're alive. Like, anyway, okay. Okay. Let me get everything back. Thank you. Okay, 90 Day Fiance. That'll drop my tears, right? And make me laugh. Okay, 90 Day Fiance. Before the 90 days, season 7, episode 13 was called The Dark is Rising. I'm like, oh my gosh. Joe and Magna. I'm beginning to think, first of all, her apartment is really nice. And she's only 23 years. It's a 2-bedroom, which is nice. I feel like she just wants to get married. Like, I don't know if it's necessary to come to America. She doesn't seem to be poor. There's no like help. Like she even quit her job at a prison. So however she's paying for herself, you know what I mean? She's doing okay. Oh my gosh. Stephanie says maybe she's moving it with Chet and Tom. Yeah, doesn't Chet live at home with his mom and dad? Like, I don't even know. That's true. Krista's right. She said Kroy's parents were right. They called it, Sarah. They did. I agree, Michael Riley. They created the mess. I do. It's just the kids that I feel sad for, because I can't imagine, like, a lot of people get into financial and emotional distress, and it's not something they were involved in. Like, maybe it was something their partner or spouse was in, and then they have to, fix that and crumble and push it back up. I feel like, what little I know, Kroy and Kim both contributed to all this nonsense, and it affects their kids. So that's why it makes me sad, for darn sure. Thank you, Mary. We were just talking. We're talking about chumpettes that have missing their family and friends for the holidays. Niles and Matilda. Boy, she's got a temper on her. I'm loving how Niles handles himself in this situation. Shows Niles is the one with autism. He's from Atlanta. Matilda's 23, from Ghana. They want to get married, but they've just met. And so he had to break it to her, saying, hey, I don't even think he's broken it to her, that it's really a financial reason. He doesn't think he's going to have the money for the, what's it called? The dowry. Is that what they called it? The dowry. I know different cultures call it different things, but basically the money and the stuff that you need to bring to the family. Also, his mom and dad are not supportive of this relationship. So they are not with him on this trip to do the traditional Ghanaian stuff and ask Matilda's family to marry and do all this stuff. So this other guy is Mr. Ark or something. Then he basically tells Niles, hey, you were not supposed to go to the family. That's a disgrace. You were not supposed to tell them you're going to do the knocking ceremony and then go back to America and then come back and marry her. He's like, no, that is not happening. That is not how we do it here. It absolutely will not happen, because now Mr. Ark and his wife are representing Niles as his mom and dad, basically. So they are taking on this huge emotional traditional role. And Mr. Ark is like, I'm not going to be embarrassed by this if I'm attaching myself to this marriage. So Niles is like, I know, but she told me I need to pay $200 something for all this food. And I don't know that he doesn't have the money, or he's like, he feels he's being taken advantage of, because, she is saying, it's going to be like 90 people at this knocking ceremony party. It's my mom's friends and my aunt's friends and my sister's friends, and I've got friends. And I think he's kind of like, I don't have that kind of money. Like, I don't know what you're thinking, but you know, Mr. Ark is like, no, 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 no. That makes me think of what's her face from uh Bravo Liberty. Anyways, and is saying no. We can do a very traditional ceremony. It does not have to be that much money. There's nothing about that. So they get into a little tiff over that. I'm waiting to see what happens because it's got to be winding down. They're on episode 13. I don't know how many episodes they're going to have though. I mean, this freaking The Other Way. Good Lord, they milked the hell out of that show. Sad. Vanya and Bozo. How do you Bozo? I'm going to call him Bozo. I really feel terrible for her. I don't know all the details. She is 41, never been married, very involved in her career. She has 4 different jobs going on, very busy, very beautiful. I do feel like he led her on. She pulled up the text messages. But I also feel like there's a language, there's a cultural thing. I think you can say I love you to people, and it doesn't mean I'm in love with you. So I definitely think it's a situation where she kind of heard what she wanted to hear, and she didn't hear and see what she didn't want to hear and see. The fact that he had just gotten back with his ex just a few months before and then broke up things with her and then quickly got with Vanya. Like, how much money did she spend on getting this last minute trip together? I mean, she rented this beautiful apartment for 3 weeks. Like, that's a lot of money. Appa Creva says Bozo, or whatever is it, Bozo. Bozo's an idiot, in my humble opinion. But I also think, with all due respect, I think Vanya owns a little bit of responsibility. And the fact that the guy wasn't even answering his phone, he wasn't answering her text when she was traveling, I mean, it's like he wasn't exactly showing that he was super excited for her to come or had his shit together. It's not like he's busy. I mean, the dude has no job and lives at home with mommy and daddy. So, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's really sad, but she finally got pissed at him. And now it looks like she meets a guy based on the previews, but he's in a relationship. They just decided to open it up. I was like, oh dear God. I didn't feel the fake. Yvonne Gal says the fake crying had me screaming at my TV. He's such an ass. I don't even think I saw him crying, did I? I definitely saw Vanya crying, and that made me really sad. When like she wakes up the next morning and she was outside having a cup of tea or coffee on her balcony by herself. Like, I think she's just at 41, like ready to settle down, and she thought she'd found her dream guy, and it just really wasn't. Yeah, Louise says, I agree that Vanya should have seen this coming. Yeah, I know, Robin. Trust me. Trust me. 90 Day Fiance is a part-time job for sure, if not full-time. Robin says, I tried to watch 90 Day Fiance and I couldn't get into it at all. I'm a Bravo girl. I know, for sure. Brian and Ingrid, again, couples that just have not had, I think they've been together. Are they to the 2-year one? Which is odd because he's still married. That means not that you can't date when you're still legally married, because I get all those ins and outs of it. He's not even legally divorced from his 4th marriage. He's also had 3 other fiancés. Like, does he rotate rings? Is the girl getting able to keep the ring? Does he have a lot of money? Like, where's his money come from? How does he get to travel so much? Like, what is he doing? Like, I need to know, what does he do for a job that he gets to go to Brazil and meet these women all the dang time? He's been married 4 times in the U.S., and I think all 3 of the fiancés are from Brazil. No. The last marriage is from Brazil. And he's got a 31-year-old kid, and then he's going to be like stepdad to these 2 little kids. I'm just like, I don't understand. And I'm assuming since she was married, Ingrid was married, I'm assuming, the dad's really involved in the kids' lives. So she can't move to the US. Like, what the hell are they thinking? I don't know. Oh, Louise, I don't tell me that. No, y'all are la 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 la. Louise says, I don't think 90 Day is fake, just a lot of strange people around the world. But Krista says, oh, la 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 la. Krista says 90 Day producers find these crazy couples, then stage the narrative around the insane couple. I do think it's a lot of very interesting people. I mean, we'll talk about the tell-all in just a second. Okay, Lauren and Faith are giving me hope. His idea how to get married and stay in the Philippines is a bit crazy. He has the idea, which is great, of them just going to Thailand where it's legal for two biological males to get married. I think if you go get married in another country, I think it then holds up in the Philippines. Does it not? Maybe it doesn't. But he was saying something about just marrying Faith's mom. Gross, just so he can legally stay here, but obviously he would be with Lauren, with Faith. I don't know. I feel like he's a great guy. I feel like he has a good heart, but I do feel like it's a complete 180 where he went from like living in the US, living in Las Vegas, having sex with other people that he was living on their couch with, and then saying that he was going to go there and try to stay there because he doesn't have a job in the US, and also that he wants to have an open relationship. When that dies out, when he got the gonorrhea on his wiener, then he's like, oh no, I want to be monogamous to you, Faith, and I only want you, and I want to live here. And she's like, yeah, but I want to go there because the job opportunities. I'm just like, wait, what? That's true. Hannah says there's enough strange people in the US. I think people like the idea of moving to a new country or an accent, or they feel like their town, they've dated already, or they can't move to a big city. I don't know. And they go on these apps specifically. I mean, well, he did have the gonorrhea on the wiener, right? It's just crazy. I think he's got a good heart, but I just think these people they've lost hope, right? They've lost hope. Not that you can't have hope and go find love in another country, but a lot of them don't even have the money to do the K-1 visa or to support them financially once they come over, or to go over and do that. So I'm like, why are you, like, if you barely have a job here, like literally, he was homeless. Lauren was homeless, going from friends' houses and couches to have somewhere to stay. And yet he goes on an app to meet somebody in the Philippines. I'm like, how'd you even afford that plane ticket? You know what I mean? Like crazy. Her family has been so nice to him. And she's got another sister that is a lady girl. So, I think that sister in particular is a little jaded because she's finding it hard for her to find love in the Philippines. So I think she's like, look, if you found a guy that is in love with you as a lady boy, that is more pluses than the negativity of him having no money, having no jobs, sleeping around on you, and having the gonorrhea on the wiener. I'm not saying it's not. I think there's a lot of pluses, but the fact now that Lauren is so adamant that he wants to stay in the Philippines, they're like, you can't get a job here. You're not gonna, you know what I mean? Yes. Oh, you want to go to the Philippines? Oh, Robin's going to go to the Philippines and meet a man. Robin says, okay, this sounds interesting. Now I'm liking this going to the Philippines. We have people at work, flight attendant men that get the brides from other countries. I think Lauren will be a fantastic flight attendant. Like, he's so personable, outgoing. I don't think you need a college degree. I don't even know if he has a college degree. He'd have to pass the test. Anyways, okay. Thank goodness her family's really nice, but they live far away from him. Bea and Sonny, he's got a bad temper. Like, I'm kind of done with him. Like, I don't dig his temper at all. I kind of want her to go back with Roy, like I've said, but I don't know where they're going to end up going. When she said the disease of the whores, I know, I love that. I mean, you're not wrong. Okay, 90 Day Fiance, the other way, tell all part 2. Corona is pissed, and I'm just so disappointed in Inky. Like, he's never been in a relationship. Corona's his first relationship. Like, maybe, I don't know, maybe he's had sex, but I don't know. First relationship. I feel like she is a strong personality. She knows what she wants. Um, but he left. Like, they were at a park bench talking about things in the US. He left. They've never texted. They've never talked again until they saw each other on the camera at the tell-all. Like, wait, what? Like, is he just trying to move on? Did he do wrong? Did she do wrong? Did they both do a little bit wrong of each other? Like, I don't know. All I know is if her goal is to be a midwife, she couldn't have done that there, not knowing the language. She's got a time goal. She's not young, you know what I mean? She needs to just get her midwife license or whatever it's called and go on with her career. And I think she'll find a man anywhere. I don't think she is she's a very strong woman. I don't think she's the kind of woman that needed to leave her goal and go to a country where she knew no one except this one guy who's clearly, I think he really did love her. I think his culture and him never being in a relationship, I just don't think he knows how to communicate. I don't think he knows how to have a relationship. Oh, wait, what? Gay says there's a serious host that married his 90-day fiance a couple years ago. He was a fan of the 90-day show, but kept it a secret that he was dating the person. I mean, I'm all for real love. I think there is I love the show because I've learned a lot from it. I've learned a lot about other cultures. I've learned a lot about all of that. But so I like that part of it. But I think before that, there's kind of this negativity of like, oh, a loser, fat old man going over to Russia to get a bride because he has nobody to come in America. You know what I mean? I don't either. Louise says, did you believe that she never yelled at Inky? I don't either. For sure. I don't believe that at all. I mean, anyone in a relationship, even over the phone, they probably yelled or I don't know, you know. Anyways, Joanne and Sean, I think are definitely going to make it. I think since he's got all the custody of his little 8-year-old daughter, I think it makes sense for them to come to America. He's got his green card and hopes to move to America. They don't seem to have a plan, but they do seem to really be in love. And I love that Joanne made the decision that her 12 and 17-year-old sons were important enough to her and her mom and the father of them for her to live in America full time and not be like going back and forth. It just never made sense to me. Like, I get that she's divorced and she sees her, you know, she splits time with her kids with the ex-husband, but you know, you can't, Ireland's far from New York. Like, no. Sarper and Shekina, the butter eating continued. They even shared it with, what's his face, James and Tata. It's got to be, what was the butter? I think it was salted or something. I don't even know. It had to be a certain kind of butter. What kind of butter did it say it had to be? I can't even remember. Love you dearly. Thinking of you. Thank you, Krista. Praying for a happy Thanksgiving with my kids and my husband and all of our family. Thank you. All of you too. I really, really hope you have a great Thanksgiving or a boring Thanksgiving or an exciting Thanksgiving. And don't get all, holidays to me are such a hype. And it makes me sad when people don't have a holiday experience the way that they envisioned it would be or the way they wanted it to be. I say just don't bring all the hopes and whatever. It's like don't hype it up to be something that it's not. I feel like, you know, a Tuesday before Thanksgiving dinner can be just as nice and wonderful and beautiful as Thanksgiving itself. You know what I mean? But I just love that in general, people make it a concerted effort to get together. And, we don't do that enough throughout the year for some of our families and friends. So, but yes. Yes, the butter eating break. I mean, so weird, right, Sephora? Like, it's just a stick of butter. And what's her face couldn't even get it done. You know what I mean? Um, Michael Raleigh says, Happy Thanksgiving. Amazon and QVC just arrived with so many packages that I can't even see the delivery guy. Dude. Wow. Okay, Sarper and Shekina, the neck tattoos. I mean, even the Irish dude, Sean, with all the tats and the head tattoos on his head, his neck, his arms, everywhere. He's like, no. Do not get Sarper's name tattooed on your neck. Like, that is like bad. Joanne is a psychic or something like that. And she was telling her all this stuff that's like something about getting someone's name tattooed on you. It comes with all the past lives and all this other whatever. It was kind of weird. But basically they're all saying don't do it. Like, are they going to last, or are they loving the fame also? I think that's another thing too. These people, just like housewives, just like reality TV shows, when they're married, Nick and the other girl that's going to divorce now. What are those ones that were married and had the blonde girl, Jessica Simpson and whatever his name was. They had the reality show of them being married. When they got a divorce, well, that show wasn't going to go on anymore, right? So I'm saying, I think reality TV people, when they're married, they might stay together longer because of the financial stuff that they gain from it, right? The fame, the money, the appearances, another show, the last resort. Good Lord. So I don't know. I do think Sarper and Shekina are equally obsessed with themselves and chaotically obsessed with each other, both super jealous. And I think they love the fame so much. Yes, it was Kerrygold butter, which I'm like, dude, you're passing that out. Like, that's expensive crap. Like, they were just why did they have so many sticks? Like, they were passing out sticks to everybody to try. I'm like, wait, what? Yes. Louise says, I couldn't believe that she's getting his name on her beautiful neck. So their 90 days has already started. So are they legally married yet? Because that tell-all, obviously filmed a while back. Is Sarper and Shekina married? They're still engaged. They only had 90 days to get, legally they've got so People has the fate. It's a keeper in Turkey, but he's in the US now. Still remains uncertain. The engagement, he got to come here. Oh my God. They were hacking into each other's. Oh, they're a mess. They are a freaking hot mess. Well, somebody let me know if they're married. They've got to be married by now, but why haven't I heard? I haven't heard that they're married either. This is true, Louise. This is true. Ding dong. Real life people, meaning people not on reality shows, also stayed married for financial reasons. I stayed married longer than I wanted because of our dog. He would take the dog, so I waited until the dog passed away before filing. That makes sense. And clearly we know, people stay together for the kids. And when people say or question that, I just think maybe they haven't been parents before, because I can't imagine having my kids every other weekend or Thursday night or a week on, a week off. Maybe I can now that they're older and teenagers, but I'm saying the financial reason, the kids' reason, the stigma, the expense of it all, the, not wanting to be a divorced person, especially. Oh, I thought you were saying you had shingles. AUS Fly Girl says, thinking about your past with shingles. I am great. Like, here's where the shingles were. Every once in a while, I still feel like I got the shingles the day after we got home from, or I noticed the first itching the day after we got home from Labor Day weekend. So early September. Every once in a while, I'll still feel itching in this area. Like, it's kind of crazy. Okay. So if you want to look like Sarper and Shekina, do the carnivore diet: cheese, meat, butter, no sugar, no carbs. Wow, exciting. Couldn't do it. Josh and Lily. If her daughter, Lily's daughter, didn't say the F word so much, I was so grossed out because she literally is so beautiful, looks so young, so petite. And she's like, why won't you F my mom? And I'm like, ew, like, ew. My mom and dad only had me and my brother. We had a maybe 1,500. We had a very small one-story house growing up. I knew when they locked their door what was going on inside when I was like in high school. I don't want to think about it. But I don't want to talk to my mom about being effed. Like, ew, that word was grossing me out. It was just ew. But they've been together for years and they've only had sex 3, 4, or 5 times. And Josh is like pulling the old, well, I don't want to be having sex when we're fighting. But you fight every day. Like, even days before this tell-all, Lily was texting the daughter saying, we're going to get a divorce. Like, we're fighting all the time, whatever. And then Josh is saying the same thing. Well, you threaten me with divorce all the time. The way Lily's eyes light up when she sees Josh's brother, who is the most positive about their freaking marriage. I think they need to get married. I don't even know. I don't even know why. He was in the US and she was in China during the tell-all. So I don't even know why they weren't together. Like, at least Sarper and Shekina were together. They weren't in different countries. Like, I don't know why why they were in different countries, why she was in China. James and Tata both cried a lot. They're a freaking mess. I mean, literally. Okay, let's chat Jeff Lewis live. Jen Helen. Oh, she says, my best friend just got the shingles. She thinks she got it because she was on the carnivore diet. Oh, dang. I don't even know. Bye, Mary. Happy Thanksgiving. Oh, wait. What? Louise says Josh is having a live on Instagram today at 5 o'clock California time to give an update. I sort of wondered if I had to watch it delayed, because I was watching it last night. So I didn't get to watch it when The Other Way was on. But, as we know, my girls, oh shit, what's her name? Not Sarper. It's similar to that. Statler and Dempsey were not on because they're not together, but that has nothing to do with it because, other people come on that aren't together. But Statler is supposedly suing TLC. Anyways, but Statler usually goes TikTok live during the stuff and has a bunch of trash to say. So I was kind of wondering, yes, I'm going to be off tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday. I just am not going to be able to squeeze in going live. So I will miss y'all, but I will be thrilled to be back with y'all on Monday. And it will just lighten all of our days to just have Jeff Lewis to listen to on Wednesday and Friday because he is off on Thursday also. Okay, today, Josh, 90-day TOW. What does that mean? 90-day TOW is his Instagram. Okay, thank you. Tracy Tutor and Josh Flagg were on. Josh is in such a good mood, but he does take 9 pills a day that kind of help with his better mood. I mean, I've watched $1 Million Listing LA from day one. He was like 19 or 20 years old, literally, when he started, just a baby, cocky, tells it like it is. But I do think he even said he's had a change of medicine, his maturing, his age, life experiences. I think he is definitely a calmer, nicer guy. But I still love it whenever they bring up like Frederick and he's like, nope, he's a dickhead. Like, I don't want to, he's a disgusting human being is what he called him. So I love that he's whatever. Super cocky. Jeff had a lot of questions about $1 Million Listing LA. I think he could tell that Tracy and Josh wanted to say something and they just weren't. So he just was attacking and attacking and asking questions. And he finally got them to both say a lot. So now we know that Josh Altman and Heather Altman, basically a couple of days before the day before maybe, that they came out with their announcement that they're leaving to focus on their family. That's not really what it was. Apparently, hey Deja, apparently Josh Flagg and Tracy agreed that they didn't want to all make this blanket Instagram statement. They didn't really want Heather Altman to be involved because she's not an official cast member, even though she's a big part of the whatever. And they got into a big fight, the Joshes. Tracy Tutor couldn't fix it. And the next morning they woke up all surprised by this instant announcement of saying, oh, we're going to focus on our family, basically leaving before. So they were just trying to say that. But now we know that Tracy has another show that she's going to do in Texas. She is not obliged by a contract with Bravo. If the show comes back, as Josh Flagg is adamant is coming back, and that he will always be on it because he is not going anywhere, and Bravo will always want him and Tracy. He thinks they can hold the show by themselves. I think there's a world where you can tuck your tail between your legs and come back to Bravo. But I think if he's not on good terms with Josh Flagg, and he probably feels like, oh, Tracy took Josh's side and didn't want me to make this announcement with Heather, then there's probably no hope for a show. I feel like it should just be Tracy and Josh. And I do sort of feel like they can hold their own. Love the show. I've watched it from day one. No, I don't want anyone back from the past. I don't even want Madison. But I thought it was good. Tracy is dating a new guy. If she met him on Raya, he's got to be famous, or he's got to be somewhat famous where a famous person has suggested or, vouched for you, if you will. Like they said that Heather Gay from Salt Lake City has tried to get on it for a couple of years, and like Andy, I think, has recommended her. All these people have recommended her, and they haven't let her on 90 on Raya. So anyways, but she won't nominated. Yeah, she won't say his name, but they just took a trip. They've definitely banged it out. They've been dating for a month. And I think he lives in LA. So I'm sure somebody will take it. Now that she said this, TMZ will find a picture. You know what I mean? Like she'll find them at a dinner and be like, oh, there's the guy. You know what I mean? Yeah, Jen Helen says, Tracy and Josh were my favorites on the show anyway. I mean, I love Josh Flagg, but today he answered a lot. He was a lot more engaging, just like Jeff said. I think sometimes, I know he's a late night person and doesn't get a lot of sleep, but that's really no excuse because, I think sometimes he just kind of had this attitude like, I'm just going to sit here and let, Nikki say everything, or let, Tracy Tutor say everything. And, I want to hear from him, especially, I want to make sure that this relationship, this guy named Kelton, is still going on. I love him talking that he wants kids now. Like that was, when I heard that, I was like, wait, who wants kids? But again, how old is Josh? How old do you think Josh Flagg is? Let's see. Josh Flagg, age. God, I wonder what he's worth. 39. Wow. Yeah, so I think he was like 21 when he came on that show. Wow. And he's worth so much money. Andrew, he dated. I mean, Bobby Boyd has blocked him, or maybe he blocked Bobby. I don't even know which. Definitely no love lost there. I love it. AUS Fly Girl says Josh's closest friends are 3 very rich women in their 60s to 80s. Yeah. Candy Spelling being a big one. And then Nikki, Big Nikki, whatever her last name is. I don't understand Carol. Just looking at her, she doesn't look like somebody that Josh Flagg would hang out with. She doesn't look like someone that would hang out with Josh Flagg. He doesn't, they don't match, but clearly they do. They're doing well. I'm shocked that Nikki Haskell, thank you. I'm shocked that he lets her drive around in his Camry all day, or her Camry. I'm just surprised. But more than that, what the hell's going on with his shrink? So I'm assuming it's a psychiatrist. It's the same guy that is suing Dr. Dre for like harassing him. Then he also says that Taylor Armstrong's husband tried to throw a brick at the guy, and then he gets like threatened to be killed all the time. I'm like, what is going on? Like, nobody should be that close to their psychiatrist, should they? Like, why are these people having such strong feelings and negative feelings about their psychiatrist? Like, that should be somebody that's helping them and getting them medicine, right? You don't do therapy with a psychiatrist, right? You just get medicine from them. Don't you go to a therapist separately? I think a psychiatrist is pretty much just medicine. So why do they have a relationship at all with them and strong enough that you want to throw a brick at them or stalk them? Or so weird. I love it. Michelle says Josh Flagg is arrogant and cocky, but he's fun to watch on the show. He's friends with lots of older folks. I know, I like it. That's one that surprises me too. Well, it kind of doesn't. Louise says, I'm surprised that Josh is so close to Sonia Morgan. That's another one. But I love when he says, like, why is she moving to Palm Beach, or whichever the poor one is? I'm sure neither are poor, but Palm Beach versus West Palm Beach. I can never keep them straight. Anyways, Monroe needs blood work today and all this testing, which, as much as Jeff goes to the doctor, I don't know that he gets blood work done a lot, but I mean, it seems very important that he would have been told to be clear if she needed to fast or not. So in the middle of the show, one of the shows, either before or after, he gets a text from Gage saying she ate bacon and toast. And he's like, yes, and a Pediasure and a this and a that, thinking it wasn't healthy enough. I'm like, she's 8. She can have a piece of bacon and toast. Like, that's not a bad breakfast, in my opinion, at 8. Also, she's very picky. But it's because she needed to fast, I guess. So then that makes the whole appointment kind of worthless because she can't have her. I don't know. It's like he said it and then just delete. I don't know. And that's probably a medical thing that they're not supposed to be talking about, because I thought he said a long time ago that the one thing that they had is they couldn't talk about medical stuff of hers. Well, he had already told us that she passed out this weekend and, went to the ER and all that. So I don't know. Did y'all understand? Did he just drop it, or did he realize, oh, I should have let her fast and I didn't make her fast? Also, yeah, why wouldn't you make the appointment first thing in the morning? Like, you don't have to go to the doctor for blood work. You can just go to a Quest, or what's the other one? Quest, or whatever the other. There's a few of them, that are really popular. You know what I mean? Kimberly J said earlier, this is why I had to dip out. I love the Tom Vanderpump Rules reference. This is why I had to dip out of Jeff Lewis Live. He kills me with this shit. Is it because did he just not ask? Did Gage not tell him? Did Jeff forget? Jeff says he thought maybe she needed to fast and then didn't realize it. I mean, I think Gage knows by now he needs to be very explicit with Jeff. And I feel like he would have made sure Shane knows too, so it wasn't, or the nannies, you know what I mean? I wonder if Gage, remember when he was communicating with Jeff's nannies and he got upset about it? I don't know. Dee said Jeff is a ding dong. He said he did think about it, but he was told that but was not told that she had to fast. Then ask. Never his fault. Yeah. Raquel says you have to fast for 12 hours for some blood work. Only can have water. Yeah. Even kids, right? Like, it's the same. It's something about making sure the blood result is accurate, right? Hannah says, why would she need to fast? Because LabCorp Quest, thank you. She passed out, had a super high fever this weekend, said she felt dizzy going to the bathroom yesterday or today. So they're just trying to figure out what it was related to. Like, did she have a virus? I mean, they're testing for everything. COVID, I mean, everything. So anyways, what else? I'm still about 30 minutes. Because I messed up the app, I pushed a button. I still need to listen to the last 30 minutes of Eden Sassoon and Carney Wilson, but Jeff is stopping the puppy ads. So I had heard them. I'd been talking with you, a lot of y'all in the DMs. I don't think we were talking about on the Sarah from Texas Facebook page, but that ad that was basically an ad played during Jeff Lewis Live that was basically a company saying, we place you with the perfect puppy. Well, puppy means a puppy. So they were breeding, I'm assuming breeding these dogs. They weren't like rescued puppies, or they weren't clear about that if they weren't. So people had brought it up to Jeff. And once he realized it, he said something, because he does have a huge heart for animals, and he has been rescuing dogs of his own for the past 20, 25 years. Eden Sassoon doesn't wash her own hair. And when she does have it washed, she has somebody else do it twice a month. Only twice a month. Like, what? But it always looks beautiful. Like, I don't know if she fluffs it, if she does dry shampoo. Like, I don't have hair that gets super greasy like this. I need to wash my hair now, but it's tolerable. But I'm also not going on TV and living in fancy LA or, whatever. But I do know people whose hair get greasy after like 2 or 3 days. Some people can go 4 or 5 days. Like I can just pop my hair up in a clip and wash my hair. And I'm not a big sweater. So even if I go to the gym, my hair is not sweaty and gross. Like it's not like it stinks or anything. So anyways, not a lot. Like I said, I've got 30 more minutes to listen on that. But they talked about Carney's kitchen remodel for a while that hasn't even started yet. So I'm like, I guess we're going to hear about that a lot whenever she does get it started. AUS Fly Girl says, once you're stabilized past the dizzy event, keep hydrated, have protein, sports drink, electrolytes, be slow to stand up post laying down, Premier drink. Oh, that's what Costco sells, or Sam's. I've seen those. Premier protein drink has 30 grams of protein. That's a lot. Anyways. Is type 1 the kid one, or type 2? Which one's juvenile diabetes? That one's really dangerous, actually, right? Oh, God, I would hope she doesn't have that. I would hope nothing's wrong with her. Raquel says, could be type 1 diabetes they're trying to rule out, so they need a fasting blood sugar. That's just a bummer if she's told and then it's not going to happen today. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to be anxious. An 8-year-old's probably never had her blood drawn, or not that she remembers anyways. So type 1 is juvenile 1. Okay, type 2 is the one from being obese sometimes, right? Anyways, well, we're going to wrap things up. Having happy rest of the week. Happy time with your family. Happy time with your friends. If you're not able to be with them, call up. Invite yourself somewhere. People would be more than thrilled to host you. I promise you. Do not feel like you're imposing at all. I promise you, if I ever knew that someone needed a place to come for the holidays, I would be more than thrilled to host them. So, but you can't know, and no one can know unless you ask them. So don't be afraid to reach out to people if you want. And it's okay to be alone on a holiday. The whole world acts like, if you're not with your family and friends. No, some people want to be alone, or they just can't be with family and friends. So anyways, yes, be grateful. That's a good word. Be grateful for every day, but especially Thanksgiving. We always try to be grateful, right? Oh my God. Y'all really are eating shark? Ozark? Oh, you're kidding. Oh my God. Ozark Sherry is the one whose son was bitten by a shark, Cole, and she was saying they were having shark, and I'm like, oh my God. I love that. Everyone's like, happy Thanksgiving. Thank you, ASU Fly, Lisa, Claire, Jen, Helen, everybody, Liz, Candace, everybody. Okay, I will see you Monday. I will miss you, but we'll see you Monday. We'll have so much to catch up on. Bye, Chumpettes. Adore you.